Well, like I said, we're already paying for Donald Trump's tariff war, and it has barely got started. The Australian dollar today fell even lower to under 61 cents. I hope you weren't planning going overseas. It's now lost nearly 9% of its value against the US dollar since Trump was elected. The stock market was also hammered, losing $50 billion. Joining me is economist and former Productivity Commissioner Judith Sloan, now a columnist with The Australian. Judith, great to see you. How could Trump's tariff war hurt us, especially, with the 10% is put on China's exports to the US, which is going to clobber its economy?
Well, hello, Andrew. Yes, well, that is the point. I suppose it's good news to mention the fact that Australia actually doesn't run a deficit with the US. We actually have quite small trade flows between Australia and America. We have quite big capital flows, but quite small trade flows. I think there's meat, there's some other agricultural, wine, there's some forms of steel, but it's small beer. But the real danger for us is that dog leg via China. So if they impose, and bear in mind, the 10% tariff that Trump has announced is in addition to the tariffs that were already imposed by him that were kept by Biden, interestingly. And so if that leads to a weakening in the Chinese economy, that will flow back into some of our important commodities, including iron ore and coal in particular.
What does this mean for the possibility of interest rate cuts? I've heard from people saying, well, look, now that this has happened, that's now less likely to happen soon.
Well, it's very hard to tell. So, the argument is that the tariffs will be inflationary, probably only slightly inflationary. The fact that it's driven up the value of the US dollar is actually kind of offsetting the effect of the tariff, by the way. But I think everyone's reading tea leaves at the moment, including, what Trump finally intends to do. But the Fed Chairman, Jerome Powell, recently held the cash rate there, and some people were interpreting that as waiting and see what was going to happen with Trump and the tariffs.